Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be comparing the Infiniti QX60 to the Acura MDX to see which family SUV is best. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jody Wilkinson Acura here in Salt Lake for giving me some time with this MDX. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. And then on a side note, I'll also include a link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. So under the hood of the MDX is a 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 290 horsepower and then 267 pound-feet of torque. Under the hood of the QX60 is also a 3.5 liter V6. This one, however, goes through a 9-speed automatic, so one less gear. Fuel economy is 20 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 295 horsepower and then 270 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this comparison, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the front ends of both of the vehicles, they definitely have a different design language going on. I mean, you can see with the headlights on both of them, they're kind of slimmer with the overall look. But notice with the Acura, you can see how the grille is shaped. It's very pointed, it's very aggressive, and so the front end looks sportier. Whereas with this, you can see the grille's more open. It kind of leads to more of like a upfront luxury appearance. But regardless, let me know which front end you like best. Now around the side here, our technical setup is 255/50/20 in the front and over in the rear with the MDX. You've got this silver coloration on the wheels with the MDX. You can see you've got a little bit of chrome trim that goes to the mirror. Same thing with trim at the bottom of the windows, and even more down below. But here's your full side profile with the MDX. Now around the side here with the QX60, our turn wheel setup is 255/50/20 in the front and over in the rear. And pretty fancy looking wheels with the silver and the blacked out trim. I feel like it's becoming more and more popular. And look at the fender flares, very chunky looking. But again, lots of chrome trim, just like the Acura. And then here's your full side view of the QX60. So taking a look at the cargo area of the QX60, pretty typical of an SUV in this segment. We've got these cool controls to throw down the seats and everything, raise them up. But yeah, pretty standard setup. And popping over to the Acura, you can see that you've got the mat popped up here. That's kind of funny. But yeah, with third row folded down, obviously it is a little bit more spacious. This is cool with the outlet and all of that. But it is manual for the seats here. So you have to pick it up yourself. Pretty easy though, you just kind of pull the tab and throw it back. Pretty similar spacing though. I'm just looking at them side by side and it looks like the cargo's similar. Anyways, just press that to lower that hatch down and press that and that'll lower that hatch down. Now I guess we'll start off with the MDX. You can see how the back end is kind of rounded off in traditional kind of like modern SUV crossover style. And look at the swoopy taillight design there, and then covers for the exhaust tips at the bottom. And then popping over to the Infiniti, really sharp with the light design, all the badges there on the back. And so yeah, let me know which back end you like most. Now taking a look at the door panel here, you can see soft touch all over. And we've got the sunshade here in the rear, and then look at the trim down below. That's pretty nice. And then these seats, pretty fancy looking. Pop in quickly. So you can see legroom's solid, got a little storage pocket. And then we've got our own climate zone here in the back, heated seats as well. Kind of got like a center console. And then as for the third row, you can fit adults back there, but you know, typical with these SUVs, the legroom's more cramped. But then headroom in the second row, it's good. Now taking a look at the door panel with the MDX, you can see sunshade here in the back. This is cool with the two-tone design there, and then you got some nice trim that goes across. And then here are the seats, like a kind of cream color to them. And then popping in, now this front seat is pushed back a bit for the memory function, but still pretty good legroom. Got a storage pocket. Again, we have our own climate zone. We've got heated seats here in the back, USBs, all of that. Got little cup holders. Same thing with the third row, the situation back there. And then with the second row, again, headroom's it's pretty similar. I feel like the roofline tapers a little bit more in this, so you might have a little bit less headroom than the Infiniti. So taking a look at the front door panel here with the QX60, again, really nice trim use throughout. And then you can see with the controls there, mirrors power fold in. Let's quick look at them. And here are these front seats. They have massage function, which is cool. But yeah, pretty fancy design. We'll pop in now, get out of the cold for a minute. Pretty solid. Ooh. Fancy, fancy. Nice trim all around the steering wheel. Got the Infiniti logo there. You can see the practical controls here on either side. Got adaptive cruise control as well. Full digital gauge cluster with this. Also comes with a 360 camera system. Messed up a little bit because of the rain. And then as for the infotainment system, this is not touchscreen, it's just this main part. It's pretty easy to use, responds at a pretty quick rate. And then I like this on the dash. I think the trim's pretty nice looking. And this is cool with the vent, how it goes across as well. And then down below we've got our dual zone climate controls, heated and ventilated seats, rear climate as well, you can control from the front. Wireless phone charging pad. Shifter here for the 9-speed with your D mode, select for the drive modes. And then you can see with the parking brake here. And then this is pretty cool with the controls for the center. And then over here, we've got the center console. Nice trim on it. This actually has a camera rear view mirror. And then again, we've got a big panoramic sunroof. Now taking a look at the front door panel. Again, you can see with the two-tone design and then the nice trim here. All of the window controls, mirrors, they do power fold in, got your memory seat function. And then here are the front seats. Pretty fancy looking. And then this is cool with all the controls there on the side for like safety tech, stability control, all of that. And then popping in. Solid sound. Ooh, that's fun. That sound. I didn't put my foot on the brake. Yeah. Nice trim around the steering wheel. You can see with the practical controls here. That's definitely nice. Full digital gauge cluster, just like the Infiniti. And then the infotainment system, you can see a 360 camera system. Interestingly enough, this is not a touchscreen. It's all controlled via a keypad. So a little bit of a different setup. I like the trim in the dash. Very premium looking. Look at that. And then you can see tri-zone climate, heated and ventilated seats with this as well. That's cool with the drive mode select. That's definitely a lot cooler than the Infinitis. See the gear selector here, and then got some more controls. Auto stop, start, brake hold. And then you can see for the infotainment system control. And then for your volume, and then a little bit of storage here. And then this is your wrist rest for that, which is funny. Wireless phone charging pad. And then if we actually take a look over here, got the center console. Pretty solid, nice trim on that. And then just a traditional mirror with this, so that's pretty normal. And then panoramic sunroof up top. Now when it comes to pricing, the Infiniti stickers for about $69,000, and then the Acura stickers for about $65,000. So let's take them out and see how they drive. Well, let us set off in the MDX. Which something I'm really impressed with the MDX is just how tight the fit and finish is with this. And the reason I say that is this car is actually built here in the US. And I guess that not all US manufacturing is the same, because I've owned a bunch of cars built here in the US, you know, from some other manufacturers. And you know, like the interior parts will be like wiggly and everything. Like this is solid. So the factory that produces this is really, really good. Kind of a random point to mention, but I don't know. It's fun stuff that I look into as someone who reviews cars for a living. So, continuing along here. Suspension's pretty comfortable so far. Good torque out of the engine. Transmission's very smooth with the gear shifts. Man, I feel like I live in England right now. It's just like cloudy and it's just slightly raining all day. That is what it's like in England. Yeah, very smooth. And suspension's comfortable. Pop it into the normal, there we go, sport. It's going the wrong way at first. And yeah, solid torque. Yeah, it's a smooth ride. It's a smooth ride. I like the sounds. It's fun with how they are. So to cap things off with our MDX drive, it's comfortable, it's got good power, smooth transmission, it's just a nice drive overall. So let's compare that to the Infiniti. And now let's set off in the Infiniti, which, yeah, still has, it's got like tight trim just like the Acura. So both of them actually have really tight, solid fit and finish, I'd say. Smooth so far too. See, this is a battle of the 3.5 liter V6s. Battle of the 9-speed versus the 10-speed. It's interesting how similar these vehicles are. I really do think that Infiniti was just trying to like one-up Acura, because they're like, oh, you got 290 horsepower, we got 295. You got 267 pound-feet of torque, we got 270. Right? They're just barely higher on everything. I don't know, I think, and then fuel economy. Oh, you get 19 miles around town, 25 on the highway. We're 20, 25. 1 mile per gallon better. 1 mile per gallon better. Yeah, comfortable. They both are pretty solid around over the bumps and everything with the damping. Pop this one in the sport mode. Doesn't have the cool sounds of the Acura. The Acura's got a little bit more theater, the video game sounds that it makes. Good, solid. I prefer the transmission in the Acura. I think that transmission's just tuned to be a little bit smoother. But yeah, it's comfortable. It drives well. Interesting. So, to cap things off with this comparison, do you go Acura or do you go Infiniti? And it's a tough choice. I think I like the drive of the Acura just a little bit more than the drive of this, but I think I like the interior of this a little bit more. And obviously it features like massaging seats and all that's nice. So that's kind of where it stands. But yeah, let me know which one you like more, the QX60 or the MDX.